If you're a first home buyer in Australia and you're confused about all of the incentives, this is going to be the clearest, most updated breakdown you will see in 2025. By the end of this video, it's my aim that you'll know all 4 of the major government incentives, the rules, the price caps in your state, and which incentives can be stacked together and which cannot. I'm David, I'm a mortgage broker based in Melbourne, and I help first home buyers across Australia every single day buy their first homes. These are the exact incentives that I walk all of my clients through, and once you understand them properly, they can literally change your buying timeline. So there are 4 main government incentives, and that's what we're going to be breaking down today. We have stamp duty concessions and first homeowners grants, which are state-based concessions and change from state to state. And then we have the federal-based incentives, which is the First Home Super Saver Scheme, and then the most popular one, which is the 5% deposit scheme, which is the First Home Guarantee or the Home Guarantee Scheme. So first we'll start with the state-based incentives, then move on to the federal ones, and I'll show you how they can all work together to get you into your first home. So number 1 we're going to be talking about is stamp duty. Stamp duty is one of the biggest upfront costs when buying a home, and every state treats it very differently. So a simple rundown is as follows. In New South Wales, you pay no stamp duty up to $800,000, and then you have concessions up to $1 million, like a sliding scale that goes up. In Victoria, we're not paying stamp duty up to $600,000, and then we get the same sliding scale up to $750,000. A little bit low, but that may change in time. In Queensland, from May 2025, on many new homes that you build, you won't be paying any stamp duty, and concessions on established homes are up to roughly $1 million, but these constantly change from year to year. In Western Australia, there is no stamp duty up to $500,000. There are various concessions that run up to $700,000 or $750,000 in different parts of the state. The duty will only apply above $500,000 across the entire of Western Australia. In South Australia, on new homes and vacant land, you're getting concessions up to $650,000 and partial relief up to $700,000. There is no stamp duty relief for established homes in South Australia. In Tasmania, there is full relief up to $750,000, but that is only until June 2026 until the rules change again. In the ACT, there is no stamp duty up to $1,020,000, concessions above that via a very specific formula that I found online. And this is the only territory that will come with income caps for stamp duty concessions as well. Stamp duty is one of the biggest savings, and almost every first home buyer is going to qualify for something. However, when we're looking at stamp duty concessions, this constantly changes from year to year and state to state. So I'm going to leave all of the links in the description for you to go and research your own state. And while you're down there, feel free to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Now we move on to an even more confusing part, which is the first homeowners grants. So the classic question I always get asked from one of my clients' parents is my child going to get the first homeowners grant? And the answer is generally no, because we're not really buying new homes. Across the country, we have the first homeowners grants that can range from $10,000 to $30,000 depending on which state you're in. In Victoria, we have $10,000 for brand new homes underneath the value of $750,000. In New South Wales, $10,000 for new or substantially renovated homes. In Queensland, $30,000 up to the value of $750,000 of the home, which has been boosted until a certain date in 2026. Western Australia will give you $10,000 for a brand new home, and South Australia up to $15,000 for a brand new home as well. Tasmania has really gone forward and put $30,000 until 2026 as well, and the ACT is one of the only territories that doesn't have a first homeowners grant at all. The rules are constantly changing from state to state, so it's important to keep up to date with what's changing in your state. Again, all of those links will be in the description as well. Now we're going to move on to the federal schemes that are available for first home buyers. First, I want to talk about the First Home Super Saver Scheme. Personally, I don't think this one gets enough attention. It's one of the most misunderstood incentives and by far one of the most powerful if you know how to use it. The First Home Super Saver Scheme lets you save part of your deposit inside of your superannuation fund and then withdraw it later on to buy your first home with it. There are contribution and withdrawal limits though. We can save up to $15,000 per year and withdraw up to a total of $50,000. You can withdraw 100% of your after-tax contributions to your super and 85% of your salary sacrifice contributions that you make over and above the standard rate given by your employer. You can also withdraw some deemed earnings from the ATO as well. This is on a specific deeming rate, but your deposit will always grow faster inside of your superannuation fund because they are only taxed at 15% as opposed to the general marginal tax rate, which sits at around 20 to 30% depending on your income. When you withdraw it, it's taxed at your marginal tax rate minus a 30% offset. For example, if you're in the 32.5% tax bracket, your withdrawal tax becomes 2.5% with that offset. But there are certain eligibilities to the First Home Super Saver Scheme. You must be over 18 years old, have never owned a property before in Australia, intend to live in the home, apply to the ATO before signing your contract, and you must live in the property for 6 months within 12 months of purchasing. The First Home Super Saver Scheme works best for those who are preparing early, let's say 1 to 3 years away from actually wanting to buy their home. You get some significant tax savings, you can stack this on top of other incentives as well, and your deposit will grow a lot faster when in that low tax environment. This scheme can be an absolute turbocharger for your deposit, and not many people actually realize how valuable it can be. If you are a little bit strategic with the way that you implement the First Home Super Saver Scheme, you can get ahead a lot faster. So now we get on to the biggest one of all, the 5% deposit scheme or the home guarantee scheme. This has completely changed the landscape for all first home buyers across the country. This is a government guarantee that will let you buy with a 5% deposit and even a 2% deposit in some circumstances as well. And you avoid paying lenders' mortgage insurance because the government guarantees the shortfall. But there has been major changes in 2025 from the 1st of October. We now have unlimited places, no income caps, higher price caps across the country, and this is going to apply to existing homes and brand new homes as well. Now for the eligibility. You must be 18 and over, be a citizen or permanent resident of Australia. You must also be a first home buyer, and a really important point is if you haven't owned property in the last 10 years, you're also eligible for the home guarantee scheme. You must also intend to live in the home, borrow with a participating lender, not all banks will allow you to use the guarantee scheme, buy underneath the price caps, and have 5% genuine savings to be able to purchase your home. This is the most accessible version of the scheme ever. More people can use it on more property types in more locations. So now we're going to look at how these will actually stack together. A real world example in Melbourne would be buying a new townhouse. You will get a stamp duty exemption. You might save around $25,000. Because it's brand new, you're going to get $10,000 for the first homeowners grant. And you might also be using the First Home Super Saver Scheme. If you earn $100,000 and salary sacrifice around $14,000 per year, you're going to drop your take-home income by about $9,500. After 3 years, you're going to be able to withdraw $38,000. This is going to be $9,000 more than if you had saved it in an after-tax environment. Then we're going to stack this on top of the 5% deposit scheme and not pay lenders mortgage insurance. This is going to save you around $20,000. So with a little bit of quick maths, we've saved around $64,000 in upfront costs because we stacked every single incentive available to us on a state-based level and a federal-based level to get ourselves into our first home. If you know how to play the game, this can bring your timeline forward by years. Now, there are a few things to note. The thresholds change constantly, eligible price caps have been changing all over the place, and the First Home Super Saver Scheme must be applied for before you sign the contract. A 5% deposit is going to mean higher repayments, and the serviceability rules still apply. You need to have the income to be able to borrow the money to buy that home. Not every incentive works for every single property, but when we stack these all together, they're going to be very powerful. They're not magic, they just work if they fit your situation. So if you're wondering what you should be doing, this is the order I recommend. Check your state's stamp duty rules. Usually this is going to be the biggest saving. Check if the first homeowners grant is going to apply to you, but that's only if you're going to be buying new. If you're wanting to use the First Home Super Saver Scheme, you need to be salary sacrificing 12 to 36 months in advance from buying your first home. And then by far the best way to buy your first home is the 5% deposit scheme. This will allow you to buy sooner with less